Hey guys, how are you today? Coming at you with a video. In this video, guys, I'm going to be talking about how to shift your mindset. And that seems like a really challenging thing sometimes, shifting our mindset, because we're so used to being conditioned into believing one way or reacting one way through our traumas, through our experiences, through our filters that we put out there. Guys, I'm going to help you a little bit in how to start to shift that mindset, like in the moment when you need it, as well as in the long term. Because in order to facilitate change within you, you have to be willing to shift your mindset, shift your perspective, and see things from a different angle and accept things from a different perspective and angle. And so it's very challenging ushering these things, because when we're really conditioned into something, we just kind of act automatically from that place. So I'm going to give you a few tips on that. So before I get into this video, guys, if you don't know me, my name is Arlessa. I am a soul and mindset coach. And guys, I'm really geared towards healing in all kinds of ways. I have a lot of spiritual tools, but mainly everything that I do is focused on helping people identify where they need to heal, helping them shift their mindset in order to facilitate that change so that they can start to heal and see things differently, as well as teaching them how to move that energy and that past trauma out of the body. So mind, body, and soul balance, guys. That's what it's all about. Anyways, so getting into the video now. Okay, let's do it. Shifting your mindset. I've had a few challenges come up where I've had to utilize this. So I said, let's do a video. And that's typically how it happens. I'm sharing my journey, and I'm learning and progressing, and I'm a work in progress, just like you guys. So I'm just sharing what goes on over this way. So hopefully I can help somebody else over all those other ways out there in the world. So guys, it's really tough and challenging to shift your mindset, especially, like I said earlier, especially because you're so conditioned into thinking it. So here are some ways that you can start to identify when you're ready, or when you're being urged, either through your spiritual practices, through, just everyday signs and situations that pop up that are kind of saying, hey, it's time to shift, it's time to change, it's time to see things differently, and it's time to step into your own power. So usually a lot of this starts happening when it's time for us to make these really, really big changes in our life. It usually starts happening as in discomfort. We start to be really discomfortable. Discomfortable. There's a new word. I'm always making up words in my videos. It's going to start to get really uncomfortable. Okay. And so if you've been sitting in the pocket of discomfort for a while, then you've been needing to do this for a while. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I always tell people, I don't sugarcoat things. I'm going to let you know, because I'm going to tell you what, it's not an easy journey, and you have to have tough love with yourself sometimes, right? So it starts to feel really, really, really uncomfortable. Either you wake up, it's like whatever you do, you're just in this pocket of discomfort. You're in this pocket of, I kind of feel stuck, or I don't know what to do. Or maybe you're just uncomfortable and you haven't reached the stuck feeling yet, and you just like, oh, I'm moody. Or you blame it on other things, but really your body is giving you these signals, these physical signals, these mental, like your brain, everything's kind of working together to say, hey, you need to make a change somewhere. So we're making you uncomfortable. The energy is uncomfortable. Your body is uncomfortable. You need to make a change. So it's up to you to discern what it is you need to change, right? Because whatever's going on that's causing discomfort, you need to take a step back and look at that full picture, which is really difficult, right? When we're operating from the filter of emotions, and we're operating from maybe not having that self-awareness in the moment. So it does get tough, guys. And look, this isn't just a skill that you just have. This isn't something that shows up overnight. So always be gentle with yourself through the process, because shifting your mindset ain't no easy task. Okay, it's not. And if you're in the business of wanting to help yourself and shift your mindset, then be ready for that battle. But it's going to be a battle that's worth it. I promise you that. So leave that there. Shifting your mindset, guys, is important. And it kind of gives you, power to take that moment back. Let me give you an example of what I'm trying to say, because I've talked about this slightly in the past in a couple of my other videos. It's something I kind of revisit. So I'm going to revisit it in this video. I had some really great things happen yesterday that I really needed to happen. I was really laid out with my allergies, which sucked, right? But at the end of the day, I got a escrow check that I didn't expect. My mortgage went down that I did not expect. It was just a lot of great things. You know, I'm looking into a remote job that I can do at home while working on my coaching. And that may or may not work out, but we'll see, right? The opportunity is there, right? The opportunity is there. So all of these great things, like my day ended with a lot of stress being alleviated in the process. And I've done another video about trusting the process and allowing things to come when they're meant for you. And that was one of those, whoa, even my daughter was like, everything comes to you when it's supposed to. And it's right, it is. So I've done a video on that before. I'm not going to get too far into it, but trying to highlight that it was a really amazing end of the day for me. And then I had to kind of start to shift my mindset from that trauma drive, since I've been in somewhat of a situation lately, just trying to get my business up and running and doing things. So we go through challenges when all of these things are happening, right? And so all of these great things happening, but I could still feel the energy of that stress and that fight or flight, like feeling that I had been having, you know, the past few weeks. And I had to really shift my mindset in the moment and say, wait, stop. You're wanting to immediately go to this negative talk. You're immediately wanting to go to the stress. You're immediately going, and you just had it taken care of. Literally a big shift for me yesterday. It totally changed things for me. And I had to sit there and battle with that perspective and that mindset so that I could be in the pocket of the emotion and the acceptance that I needed to be in. It was almost like I was kind of getting tugged back, even though I had literally no reason to be tugged back, because I'm moving forward. I'm getting slingshotted forward. So I had to sit in that. So I did. And I shifted that perspective. And then this morning when I woke up, just, you know those days where a couple things happen and you're just like, dang, is my day gonna go like this? And I was like, no. I give all these people advice about not letting things fuck up your whole day. And I was like, get it together, sister. Let's do a video on this, right? Whenever we're in the moment and we are completely just emotionally driven and everything keeps happening, that's when you take your power back. That's when you start to shift your mindset. When you're put in those uncomfortable moments, you're put in these moments where you have to take a look at what's happening. Take a look at the full picture. These are moments early in the morning. It has nothing to do with the rest of my day at all. So how do I shift my perspective? How do I shift my mindset in the moment in order to say, no, the energy moving forward, things are going to happen. Okay, it's not going to ruin your day. Okay, it's not. It got really cold all of a sudden. I have all these ceilings because I'm starting up a little mini homestead in my backyard, which I'm very excited about. And my ceilings can't make it with 30-degree weather that we're fixing to have for the next 3 days. So guess what? I was like, dang, I just started this. I've been putting all this love into it. And I was so upset. And I was like, wait a minute. God, Arlessa, get it together. What can you do? What's working for you? Are your seeds in the ground? No. I can lift them up and carry them into my home. Yeah. I'm not defeated at all. And you know what? Even if they were in the ground, I'm still not defeated. There's other ways of managing it. But in the moment when whenever your thought patterns or whatever your expectations of things get kind of, you have to really change your perspective and adapt to the solution that needs to be found. Adapt to the new flow of energy and get aligned with that energy and find solutions. Don't allow that energy to disempower you, and then you start to resist it, and then when you resist it, more shit starts happening right in front of you, blah, 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 all over the place. And then what do? Then you get sucked, and then you have a cycle, and then you get all this stuff, guys. So discomfort is going to tell you this is where you need to shift your mindset. Is something happened that's making you uncomfortable? Okay, look at it. Why is it making you uncomfortable? What is happening around what's making you uncomfortable that you can reach out for a lifeline? You can reach out to change your perspective. What is working for you instead of against you in the moment? And sometimes we get stuck in those emotions and we're like, oh man, everything's working against me. Nah, look, not everything's working against you. Never. There is never everything that is working against you. That is your perspective, because you are stuck in the belief that that's all it is. It's just crazy how much we hold ourselves back with our own mindset and perspectives. But this is where we start to change this stuff. This is where you start to take your power back. This is where you start to shift your mindset into the direction to lead you to more fulfillment, lead you to more happiness, lead you to more acceptance, lead you to less emotional pain. Because we put these unexpected, I can never say this correct, unrealistic expectations on almost everything. And then we get all upset when it doesn't work out the way we put that expectation on. Well, that's because we're not supposed to know how things work. Everything's different. Everybody has willpower, free will. All these different things can happen. There are no impossibilities. But when you start to take your power back and you start to shift your perspective and shift your mindset and really start to open up and expand, is when you accept things for what they are, and then you say, okay, what is working for me in this moment? How can I change it? How can I take my power back and allow it to get me on the track? We get knocked off all the time off our track, right? We got detours that come up, guys. We have, traffic, the lane we're in gets clogged up. Things happen. This is everyday life. What do we do? When you're stuck in traffic, what do you do? Well, you can't do much because you're stuck in traffic. So what do you do in the moment? You get really, really upset? Or do you like, okay, fine. Well, I guess I'm going to take this time to really sit and not have to worry about anything. That's what I do. When I'm in traffic, I'm like, oh my God, traffic. And then you know what I do? I say, oh, okay, man, I get to sit here and do whatever I want. Think whatever I want. I don't have to answer to anybody in this moment. I'm literally stuck in one place and cannot get out, and I have no control over it. So when you have no control over what happens to you, you do have every bit of control within yourself to react and handle that in every way that you can that's going to benefit you and allow you to adapt and allow you to shift your perspective and allow you to shift your mindset. So, guys, I think that's all I got this morning for you. And I'm going to go ahead and end this video. My car's getting a little toasty up in here. Anyways, I hope this was good. I have a habit of thinking that I'm all over the place, and then I'll watch it back and I'll be like, oh, okay, I guess it makes sense. And most people aren't like, hey, you're a babbling fool. Or maybe there are people like that, but that's okay, because if they think I'm a babbling fool, that's them reflecting that onto me. Because it is what it is, right? We always reflect what's in us back onto other people, right? Sometimes we see things in other people that we actually, do you know that what you see in somebody else, you actually have it in you? Because if you didn't have it somewhere in you, you wouldn't be able to recognize it, right? And a lot of people are like, oh, I'm not this, I'm not that. People act this way, I don't do that. Come on, look, don't do that. We're not gonna do that, okay? No one can do that. Look, everybody has gone through things, everybody's thought certain things. I mean, we're all human, so there is no reason to say that somebody has something in them that you don't. If you recognize something in somebody else, then you've experienced it. Something has happened in order for you to be able to recognize that, right? So you have it somewhere in you, whether it's in your memory, whether it's in your nervous system. It doesn't matter whether it's something that you've done in the past, right? Because sometimes we see a lot of behaviors in people and things that we had and we've changed. So that's how it works. It was in you at one point, the lesson, the memory, something is there. All right, that's a whole nother video. Guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope it helped a little bit. If anybody has any questions, let me know. You want to add anything? Let's get a discussion going. I love it. And have a good weekend, guys. Thanks.